Okay, ladies and gentlemen, this is as you see the title of the video. Here, let's put this down here. Okay. Now, 157 countries um, just recognized Palestine. Now, Italy, the Prime Minister, Giorgia Leone, she says Italy recognizes Palestine, but not as a state, not quite yet. Until it's further recognized as a state, it has to really deal with things socially, economically, all that stuff, all things down to where if Palestine wants to be recognized in the eyes of Italy and to become a state, now, in a way, I do agree because if you recognize it as a state right away, I mean, I get it that 100 and nearly 160 countries recognize Palestine, which is a good thing. What's happening right now is that you have Benjamin Netanyahu, okay, accusing China of harboring Hamas associates. Even China recognizes that there's some issues with Israel and Gaza and Hamas. Now, Netanyahu wants full control of the Gaza Strip. I say no. I say no. Now, the thing is the world finally waking up, or is it just theater? You know, are we back to where Obama didn't see officially that Crimea seceded from Ukraine and became part of the Russian Federation back in 2012? I remember watching RT America, and seeing that the people of Crimea in Ukraine, they all voted. They all voted to secede from Ukraine to become part of the Russian Federation. You know, we're in that place again because you have Lindsey Graham who said there is no Palestinian state under international law. Well, the thing is, Israel is trying their damnedest to keep the idea of a Palestinian state to even happen. Because if you look at the map of that region between Israel and Palestine, Israel has taken over about nearly 90+% of Palestine. Okay, um, I mean, for over 2,000 years, you had Palestinians and the Jews not at war, not at war. You know, I mean, even before there was a state of Israel, you know, in '48. Um, the Jews and the Palestinians never had any issues. Never had any issues. You know, they live peacefully amongst themselves. I mean, there may be some skirmishes here and there, but they always lived in peace, man. You know, I'm talking about the real deal Jews and the real deal Palestinians. They never fought. They lived in peace, you know. But when you have people that want to control the entire world through economics, through banking, through memes, you know, they want the world for themselves, you know. It was a backdoor cabal that came up with the idea of a Jewish state, state of Israel. Um, the Jews didn't want it, you know. I mean, they were happy where they're at. They were happy with what they got, with what they had. It was the Zionist Jews that wanted the state of Israel. It was the fucking Zionist Jews that wanted. You know, the world is waking up, man. You know, the thing is, how come it took this fucking long for it to happen? How come it took this fucking long for 157 countries to open up their fucking eyes and shit? 157 countries. Why couldn't this happen a long fucking time ago? How come it took this fucking long? Right? How come it took this goddamn long for it to happen? Hmm? How come it took this fucking goddamn long The United States is trying to take back an air base from Afghanistan. And in Trump's mind, if we don't get that base, they're going to use military action. You know, I'm getting a little sick and tired of that shit. Honestly, I am. I am I am like really fucking tired of this shit. I mean, look what happened in the early '90s. Okay, early '90s, right? 89, 90 ish. Um, Manuel Noriega stopped playing ball with our government. Decided to go rogue. George H.W. Bush sent the Navy SEALs after uh, Noriega, because here's the thing: any world leader that decides to stop playing ball with our government, all of a sudden they have to pay the price. Because if you don't play ball with our government, then they're going to set an example of you. And Noriega, he went rogue. They sent in our military to go after him. And here's the thing: he got charged with check this out. Noriega got charged with drug trafficking, right? Drug trafficking because he went rogue. Was there any drug trafficking in Panama? No, no. One, he went rogue. Two, it was about the Panama Canal. That's why our military built bases on both sides of the Panama Canal. Why? To monitor. To monitor. Yeah, to monitor. To monitor the ongoings of the canal. You have China, you have BlackRock that wants to control the canal and shit. Yeah, yeah. Full control of the Panama Canal. Big time, man. Big time. They want full control of the canal, but it belongs to Panama. Now Trump wants to take it back. Well, I'm sorry, it don't belong to us. You know, the canal belongs to the people of Panama, not us. Okay, Jimmy Carter gave the canal back. Okay, give it back. Reagan got mad. We bought it. We own it. No, we stole it. We stole the canal from Panama. You know, we didn't buy it. We stole it. Where's the evidence that we bought the canal from Panama? Where's the evidence saying that we did? We never did. We stole the canal from Panama, dude. Why? To control it. There's 3 bases on one side and 4 bases on another. Yeah. Yeah. It's insane, man. I mean, finally we're seeing something. Finally, we're hearing something, and 157 countries recognize Palestine. Lindsey Graham needs to watch his mouth, okay? And Donald Trump needs to watch his ass too. So does Netanyahu. 157 countries recognize Palestine. Okay, Lindsey Graham, Senator out of South Carolina. Let me give a little advice, you freaky bastard. Good luck on putting sanctions on 157 countries, asshole. Because that many countries you don't want to fuck with right now. If that many countries recognize Palestine, it's best to shut your fucking mouth, okay? Senator Graham, it's best for you to shut your fucking mouth, Mr. Neocon Rhino cock sucking motherfucker. And Netanyahu, you half Polish prick. You don't control the United States. You don't control Trump, okay? Who do you think you are, Emperor Palpatine, you fucking prick? We already know what you have planned, you and Trump. You want Trump to take back the air base in Afghanistan, right? Because you want to go after China, right? You want Trump to take back the air base from the Afghanis because you want a position to go after China. Guess what? China's bigger than you, asshole. All right? China is the size of fucking Russia, dude. Russia and China are allies. If you go after China, Russia will come in. And I don't think you want 2 million soldiers from both countries on your fucking doorstep, dude. And plus, you have an arrest warrant for your ass. Let's see. Crimes against humanity, war crimes, violation of every single international law on the books. If you're charged, tried, convicted, dude, you are looking at the death penalty, man. You are looking at the death penalty, dude. Not life behind bars. We're talking about the Nuremberg shit, man. The Nuremberg, modern day Nuremberg trials, man. You and your fellow Zionist assholes are going to be getting the death penalty, dude. There ain't gonna be no life in prison. It'll be the death penalty, dude. War crimes, crimes against humanity, violation of every single international law there is on the books, you will have 157 countries breathing down your fucking neck, wanting your arrest, man. See, 157 world leaders are seeing through your ass, man. They're seeing right through you. See, if I said I'm gonna stand with the Palestinians, I would be accused of being a Hamas sympathizer. Now, if I said I'm going to stand with the Jews, dude, why are you standing with the Zionists? I thought you were neutral. See, I stand with the living. I stand with people who once lived in peace as they did over 2,000 years ago. Okay? I stand with people who wanted peace before the state of Israel, before Netanyahu's ass came around. Who wants that kind of peace? Okay? 'I would like to see Jewish children and Palestinian children grow up together in peace. I'm saying the real Jews, not the Zionist one. I'm saying the real Jews and the Palestinian children live in peace together. You know, but can't say that because I know I'll have someone come after me for saying that shit, which I don't care. I want to see Palestinian children and Jewish children at peace together, man, as they did 2,000 years ago, until before the state of Zionism and shit happened. That bullshit. 157 world leaders do see Netanyahu as a threat to the world. And that leaves Israel and the United States alone. Alone. That's bad. It's bad. Even our allies see Netanyahu as a threat. Even our allies see Palestinian as a state and recognize. That's bad. That's like that's sad, man. That's fucking sad, dude. You know, shit. That's sad. we're the only country to have over 296 bases across the world. Right? Why is that? Tell you why. Control. Control. Yeah, control. It's about control, power, and greed. And it's a rich man's war. It's a rich man's military, man. I call it the rich man's military. I don't call it the U.S. military. I call it the rich man's military. Why? If a country wants its independence and the government and the people votes in a leader voted in by the people and not by the elites, then like what happened in Iran in 53 and the Congo in 60, right? Right? World leaders, no, Patrice Lumumba in 60, right, in Congo. Eisenhower saw him as a threat because he was voted in by the people and not the elites, right? So what happened? Belgium needed our help. They needed Eisenhower's help. So Eisenhower sent in the CIA, right? Sent in the CIA. They arrested Patrice Lumumba, who was a president, and his prime minister, both killed. Why? Eisenhower saw him as a threat. He was no threat. So what happened? Belgium needed help, needed Eisenhower's help. So Eisenhower sent in the CIA. Okay? Sent in the CIA. He got backing. Happened. They captured Patrice Lumumba and his prime minister, arrested him, tied to a tree, and shot him dead. Right? And all of a sudden, Eisenhower had the CIA put in a puppet government leader of our government's choosing. Just like in 53, right? 1953, Iran nationalized their oil, right? So Britain wanted in on the action. They said no. So what happened? They sent in the CIA to help with propaganda shit, turn the people against the world leader. See, this is how they do it. If the people began looking at their leader who they voted in, see, no country is allowed to live properly without the elite permission. Why? It's bad for business or the elites, corporate elites, right? Because any corporate elite here would say, no, no, no. We don't allow nationalizing of anything. If we can't get a piece of pie, you ain't gonna do shit for it with it. It'd be ours. That's what happens. That's what happened when Noriega said, "Fuck it, I'm done with the guy, man. Fuck him. No, I'm done." He went rogue. And said, Fuck Bush, dude. I'm done being the puppet. I'm done. So I'm gonna cut my kid strings are cut. He's off. All right. If you decide to cut the strings from the puppet tier, which was the U.S. government, you are a liability. They're going to take care of you in a way you wouldn't even imagine, man. Yeah, that you wouldn't even imagine. Because you're done when they say you're done. Yeah. See, the reason why Hugo Chavez died, right? See, Hugo Chavez, they loved him. They loved the people of Venezuela loved him because he kicked out the American corporations. Hugo Chavez nationalized his country. They're doing good until Maduro got in. Now, all of a sudden, Venezuela is now a socialist dump. Someone asked me, do you think that the U.S. government killed Hugo Chavez? I said, yeah, I believe so. Why? Well, for one thing, he kicked out American corporations. He did not want any American corporation in Venezuela. Why? Because they would start assuming things are theirs and they'll take full control of the country's resources. Now, Burkina Faso, right? Burkina Faso kicked out France of the region. The new guy, he got 4 or 5 other sector leaders together and they created a triumvirate, a and they did not want to hand over their resources to France. Any leader in the past was assassinated. Okay, and they were taken out by the CIA or MI6. Okay, or Mossad. The new leader of Burkina Faso, he's the kind of guy I don't think you want to fuck with, dude. Okay, he wants to unite all of Africa. He wants West Africa to be no longer a West um, guinea pig. Gaddafi wanted to unite all of Africa under a golden currency where all of Africa would be on an even playing field economically. And that's why they killed him. The UN went in there. I don't get it. I mean, he wasn't a threat. He wanted to create the golden dinar and unite all of Africa under this currency, where all of Africa will be on the same playing field, even playing field economically. And I think that when you realize that um, it's yeah. Hey, buddy, have fun. All right. Just run us out.